Certain parts of the world are seeing the Quest 3 at its lowest price ever right now for Amazon Spring Sale. Unfortunately, that does not include the US. But right now, if you're in the right area, you can snag one of these for £423, down from the usual $469. And according to price trackers, that is the lowest price we've ever seen on a Quest 3 there. But unfortunately, the Amazon Spring Sales did not include any of the Quest lineup, but a ton of the accessories are on sale right now. So if there are accessories you're looking for, make sure and hit up Amazon. A Prism XR dock that we checked out and we liked is currently on sale. Sadly, it doesn't look like any of the Bobo VR accessories that I love so much are on sale, but there is a lot going on sale on Amazon right now if you're looking for some deals. And of course, it's not really a big surprise that America isn't getting any sort of sale right now on the Quest 3. As we saw, the price lineup already changed last year, and that 512 gigabyte Quest 3 became $500 instead of $649, and you still get Batman Arkham Shadow and Quest Plus if you do get a Quest right now. So if you haven't gotten one, you want to, there is some links down below for those. And if I find some good accessories I like currently on sale, I'll leave you some of those links down below too. But hopefully this is a good sign. That means maybe we'll see the Quest 3 at a lower price here in other countries too. VR has seen tons of success with different simulator type games, and a new one is launching today. Train Sim World VR New York. You get to operate modern trains through Manhattan, the Bronx, and check out New York's iconic railways, all while being fully immersed in VR. Even with your own apartment in New York, you'll be in charge of 24 miles of real-world track, operating MTAs, M3As, and M7As. And this is from Dovetail Games, the maker of very highly rated Train Sim Worlds on Steam and other platforms flat, now in VR. Check it out today. There will be a link down in the description in the comments that'll save you some money on this. Thanks to them for sponsoring this week's news, and it's exciting to see another big-time developer with real flat game success coming over to VR. We reported to you last week how there was a new addition to the Quest Games Optimizer that allowed you to use it basically as a 3D video camera, and now other developers are trying to see, can the Quest 3 be used as a 3D scanner? 3D scanners traditionally have been extremely expensive, have mixed results, and the Apple Vision Pro itself actually does 3D scanning when you scan your face in to create your avatars. Well, now there's a mixed reality app digitalizer that promises easy object scanning with the Quest 3 due to it having the depth sensor that the Quest 3S is missing. The developer talked about how the Quest 3's depth sensor can scan objects and environments with an accuracy of up to 5 millimeters, and this would in theory give you the ability to do things like we saw what Gracia did with having objects in the room that you had scanned in, like food and stuff around you. This even having RGB support, meaning you'll get full color of the real world. But unfortunately, so far has been reported to have some mixed results on how things actually look. So far, it looks way too early in practice with this, but we'll leave a link in case you're interested in trying to check this out yourself and see what you think about it. We excitedly reported to you how a Robocop VR was coming to Quest 3 and PCVR, especially at a time when we didn't have a lot of AAA games cited coming this year, and guess what? Now it's not happening potentially at all. There was a licensing issue, and now Amazon MGM has reported to news publications that it wasn't officially licensed before its reveal, and the page is now gone. There was even a mix-up before that Quest 3 was the only one that was going to get it, and now we had heard it was going to be arcades only, and now it sounds like it may not happen ever. Disappointing to hear, especially at a time when so many VR games have been scrapped and the year's VR news has been light as it stands. But what do you think? Were you pretty excited to see a Robocop VR of sorts, and are you disappointed now to hear it's gone? I know I definitely am. We've tried tons of different accessories out there that are supposed to make shooting in VR more realistic, from ones that are just pieces of plastic shaped like a pistol to ones that actually have haptics in them, and I really like those ones. Well, now VR shooting sim Ace is partnering up with a major manufacturer in the industry for more realistic training. Sig Sauer and Ace Virtual Shooting are hooking up to make a peripheral that turns your Quest 3 or 3S controller into a very realistic pistol in your hand. Of course, with it facing backwards so that the lights that track on the controller are facing directly towards your headset. And these are replicas of two actual 9mm pistols, the Sig P320X5 Legion and the P365X Macro Comp. And then these are supposed to be used with the subscription-based Quest app Ace, although I could see these being really cool in other games. The app itself is a Quest 2 and above app, $19 per month or $14 if you bill it out annually, with real-world shooting exercises and courses, tracks your training, gives you analytics of how you're doing. This is for people who are serious about it, not just people who want to have fun. And that becomes very clear when you see the $199 price tag, which they say is much cheaper than firing off thousands of rounds in a real live shooting course. I wonder if I could get my hands on one of these to review. If you are one of the lucky people that has a Sandbox VR near you and you got to try your local Squid Game experience there is now more being added to it alongside season 2 coming out on Netflix. Already before you could play several of the games in Squid Game through the use of VR, but now a new Repeat Racers mini game is also available at all locations. This alongside the news that the 3rd and final season of Squid Game will be premiering on June 27th, 2025. Not too far away to wait for that. I personally haven't gotten to try the Squid Game yet at Sandbox, but if you've tried it, let me know in the comments what you think, because I've been thinking about trying to find one somewhere I travel next. We've seen many attempts at Star Wars games over the years in VR, from unofficial, unlicensed ones, all the way up to the ones that have had mixed reviews so far, but now a mixed reality game is officially coming exclusive to the Quest 3 and 3S. Beyond Victory is a new Star Wars game based around the same time frame as the Han Solo prequel, the Solo, a Star Wars story movie. And although this was just announced and we don't know much yet, it says that people are going to be able to meet the pod racer, Volo Bolas, join forces in a heart-thumping and engine-thromping mixed reality experience. It'd be interesting to think that there's pod racing to do of all things in mixed reality. It seems more like a VR kind of thing, although maybe you're just working on them, who knows, but we will be finding out more, as they're saying that they will be at the Star Wars Celebration 2025, where Meta will be showing these off hands-on for people to try out, and that's only a couple weeks away. So far, previous Star Wars games have gotten reviews like they kind of play out like movies more than games, or that people didn't get to do what they wanted in Vader Immortal. So what do you think? Does this have you excited or not really? Orion Drift is the second game from the developers of Gorilla Tag, and this was a spiritual successor to Lone Echo and Echo Arena. Of course, Echo Arena being the esports game that Meta ultimately shut down after taking over that studio. Well, now Orion Drift has been out in early access for a little while and has gotten a first and major update. Although still considered in early access, the new Capture the Beacon game mode, this has people trying to go into the other base, capture the beacon, with an interesting approach where it doesn't cap the number of players or a time limit, so people can just jump in, jump around, play, and jump back out. The game hasn't been out long and is still considered in early access, but so far isn't having quite the reception Gorilla Tag had, with a 4.3 rating, 75% of those 5 stars, and 13% of those are 1 star, from people saying things like it's too toxic and sweaty, to other people saying it's an experience and can change your life, people saying it's going to save competitive VR, but people saying that all the toxic people from Gorilla Tag came over and are now playing this instead. With all of that so far, have you tried it, and how are you feeling about it if you have? If you've thought for too long, I want a VR game that loves me back, well, developer Wind Up Minds has a new pet-based simulator for you called Stay Forever Home. This is a blend of AR, VR, and even unscripted AI to create a realistic companion pet that is unique to each player. This is coming out next month in April, a lovable canine companion to hang out with you both virtually and in mixed reality. A game that did catch my eye when I first saw the trailer, an interesting one where you can hang out with your pet in the virtual world, but also bring them home in augmented reality, or mixed reality as we call it now. They say that this is not just a virtual pet though, you're going on an extraordinary journey of connection and discovery and finding treats. A cutesy one that does have me interested though. I always like to see and highlight when people are bringing something different to the VR community, and this definitely looks like that. And with all that, a lot going on in the news this week, but I want to say thank you again to all of you out there for being here with me. 102,000 of you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in another reality.